All right, Joe, you're 3 for 26 coming out of the All-Star break going into tonight. What clicked for you? What did you see different? How did you kind of stay through the rough times that you had coming out of the All-Star break going into tonight?
Yeah, just kind of shortening things up, simplifying, and, just getting a good pitch to hit. I talked to a bunch of guys on the team, and, Rob always is an advocate of this. You're always one swing away. So, just keep swinging the bat, and, that's all that matters.
Talk about the home run at bat. What we're trying to look for, just what we're going into it, and just what you see, what you hit.
Yeah, I was just trying to get a good pitch to hit. Not trying to go out of my approach, staying within myself, and just trying to stay up the middle of the field, and left one over the plate higher, and just put a good swing on it. So.
You kind of mentioned Rob. Just how big has he been for you? And you mentioned throughout spring training that he's someone that really helped you. Now you're in AAA. How's that been for you?
It's been great. Just having him around. The experience, the veteran, the older guy. It's great to hear from him and hear all the input that he has and advice and wisdom that comes with it. It's great that he's actually here, and I get to learn from him every day, and he's been a big help, especially since the beginning of this year. To keep me in a good mental and physical spot.
Biggest piece of advice he's given you so far, what is it?
I would say he gives a lot of good advice. He said a couple things. I can give you two or three. One is he said, obviously, you have to have confidence in yourself and always believe that you're the best player on the field. So, just trying to go out there and believe that you're the best player out in the field and go do it. And two is just, I would say number two, a big thing that he said is making sure that you're prepared every day, making sure that, you're ready to come out here and do what you need to do. Because at the end of the day, it's you versus you, and if you feel good, you still got to play. If you feel bad, you still got to play. So making sure that you're just available and ready to play whenever.
I'm curious. I was talking to Smoke about this. The pitch calling. Obviously, you're not doing that. It's them. Does that kind of take any stress off of you when you're preparing for the game? Just what's that been like, that adjustment for you?
Yeah, I've definitely been mentally freed up a little bit with the pitch calling and stuff. That's all been really good. I honestly, just have to focus on blocking, receiving, and throwing the guys out. So it makes my job a little bit easier. And also I am kind of working with Rob a little bit, and I'm thinking what he's calling. So, I'm also getting the experience on calling certain pitches and, how to attack these guys. So, I think there's benefits on both sides. So.
What's it been like working with, more of an older pitching style? Obviously, a lot of relievers that were at the big league level, even starters like Mays or Snelling who have experience. What's that been like working with those guys?
Yeah, it's a little bit different when you got a guy who's a little bit more seasoned, knows what he's trying to do, and, knows where his misses are, executes. It's just kind of working with them is pretty cool to see how, obviously it's going to be like that in the big leagues and when you go up another level and all that. So it's cool to kind of prepare and work with them because they have, hey, all right, you're going to be on here on this side or whatever, for whatever pitch. So we work very well together, and just trying to hear out what they have. Just trying to soak up as much information as I can gain to help them.
Last one, I got to ask you about Troy. Got the call up today. Got his first big league hit in his first AB.
Yeah.
How cool is that to see? A guy who's been here for a while get his opportunity.
Yeah, that's awesome to see. He well deserved by Troy, and he's a great guy. You couldn't have happened to a better guy, and we're all very happy for him. Excited that he's up there, and first one's out of the way. So those are always the tough ones. So he's got it down. He's a great player. We got confidence in him. We got trust in him, and faith that he's just going to go out there and do his thing. So it's awesome. We were celebrating a little bit in the dugout when he got his first hit. So really, really cool, and congrats to him as well.